Yeah, well, we'll see. We will see. Maybe we'll get one of those new surprise finishes. Obviously, we had one up at Oasis. And,
I've yet to
last
cast
night.
my first island ending too. So.
Oh, that's true. I mean, I think I'm done with that already. I'm done with that idea of island. Okay, that's a building. This is.
It's in the edge somewhere with those type of buildings. That's going to be over El
Porto
Cantara.
Paraiso or something.
Is it Porto Paraiso?
Maybe.
That could actually be. Oh, it is up there. Oh no, yeah. Okay.
No, yeah.
It was the intersection down there. Okay.
Yeah, it's down there. So that's actually not a good plane, really. It's going to cause a lot of problems. We're going to cause see some adjustments. CrowCrowd going up to Campo Militar, Tia Bronca, etc. It does mean that N47 will be down Porto Paraiso, which means Desperados will be forced to just go into Impala and not spread. We will also see FaZe Clan maybe even go Valdemar from this one.
This one is going to touch on what you said last game. Why does no one go Los Leones? Teams are going to go Los Leones this game. If not, I'd be surprised. And I'm looking specifically for 7 right now.
Yeah,
there they are.
There, yep.
They're going to go down on the southern side. They've been here before, even in the PEL as well. Navi down here as well. FaZe down here. Even Raise Your Edge are going to go down towards Valdemar. If this becomes a northern circle, we're talking like north center, northeast anywhere, it's going to be hell for a whole lot of teams.
How greedy do Reciprocity get here? Because they know that NIP and TSM are going to be coming overhead with nothing. I can see Shiv. Look at Shiv. He's bombing. Is he trying to get a gun and try and shoot some out of the air?
It would be dumb not to.
I mean, it's points. It's 3 points.
I mean, you talk about 3 points when you're in a vehicle. If you're in a parachute and you're still, I mean, they're long shooting right now for San Martin.
Yeah, look, Scream's coming over as well.
They're long shooting for San Martin. That's got to be 3 points if they can find a weapon, preferably with a scope too.
And with the circle being as is, this is favourable to everyone. It is obviously doing these long drops. San Martin, you can loot longer, stick around there. TSM have found a vehicle. They're getting out of there. You can see Michael and Iro, I think it is, that's in the vehicle with him, heading off to the north. So let's see what changes we got. Obviously, we got Navi down south. This is kind of a standard thing for them. We expected FaZe Clan to be in and around here. Raise Your Edge themselves have actually gone to Valdemar down the bottom there. Obviously, standard Mikado, Team Liquid. That's the beauty of having these central points. You can pretty much get there from anywhere.
For teams that can't, viewers that can't count it up, every team that normally goes north of San Martin is south of Los Leones right now.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the cutoff. Like, we're just like taking the whole pile north bloop, and put it in the bottom.
It makes them, I mean, FaZe Clan, they got 4 in a vehicle right now, La Drillera, but obviously there's no one challenging. But once they get to Monte Nuevo, other than Raise Your Edge, they're going to have a very easy rotate. They're just simply going to go north.
For teams like Desperado and Impala, for the teams that know that there are so many teams down south, I want to see them go all the way around. Grab water treatment. Even come in from Cruz del Valle. Sure, you got CC up there, but they should be moving further center. And I'm looking at TSM as well. Last week, they had a game where they had a golden two-way split in the center. They gave that up. Liquid, boom, they were there immediately. Liquid are so impressive in their reactions. I mean, it's like they don't even communicate it. They just know when to go and where to go. So if TSM give up just the slightest bit of room to a team like Liquid, it's going to be them losing compounds.
It's going to be tricky for TSM as well, because the area they're looting right now, in and around Hacienda, etc., that is the central point.
Yeah.
So they've not got there until around about the 2.5 minute mark. They're going to have a very short loop period before Team Liquid and Co. start rocking up.
We saw it with 7 on Erangel yesterday, I think it was, where Liquid came down towards them. They were still in that first compound. We had people with level 1 helmets, barely any ammo, because they simply hadn't had time to run anywhere to loot, right? And that's exactly what you say. Do you go somewhere else now, with the risk of that compound you left that you technically wanted to play the circle from getting taken? Or do you stay saying, you know what, I'm just going to hope that some dumb one comes with a vehicle and get his loot? I mean, because you won't get loot anywhere else. You won't get loot anywhere else other than that.
Yeah, if you think of, was it the Erangel game last week where Team Liquid basically got there along with GamerLegion? Team Liquid had nothing because they were 2.5 minutes, but then they just killed all GamerLegion and stole all their loot.
There you go.
It's just the way it
loot
works
when
out
the
for
opponents can do it for you.
Exactly, exactly. Just hope they've got good loot. And speaking of which, we're on the 4 minute mark, and Team Liquid are indeed on their way north into the central positions. So TSM, they've had about 1.5 minutes to loot, to see what they've got, because they're about to get busy.
Yeah.
Chris is even moving his way across. He wants to get that crossroads compound, I think. He's going to keep on moving to see if he can get closer. So TSM really have a problem ahead of them. There is a big fat crate. I think you could call it.
That was pretty decent.
Is an absolute god crate right there.
With a first aid too, huh? And they're right next to each other, and they're in the open field. That's a bait crate, right?
Well,
So
I guess a Rec going to go south and get it, or DA going to bump in and get it.
I was just going to say, I was assuming Liquid taking the Crossroad compound on the eastern side with a big warehouse, and that's exactly what they're scouting right now. They want to keep the two-way split on each side of the road, and I mean, the way they're setting up right now, they're pretty much that center alongside TSM, and they know that should the next circle send up here again, TSM will make a move because they don't want to sit four-way split. They'll potentially go 2-2. They will just take what they see them leave. All the compounds here are so good to play from. There's no reason for them to over-aggress this early.
Well, the rotates as we expect to happen. Desperados from Impala, they're going to go all the way up that northern road. They're probably going further north, pretty much up to where CrowCrowd are coming down from. Obviously, they're aware the fact that it was such a southern playing path. Don't forget, it went south of where G2 are now, all the way down. So all these northern teams that were down south are thinking, do we go all the way back up there? I expect FaZe to actually go fully north, or maybe up to La Cabrera and then come down. We'll see whether they decide to go. They might just take the road directly in because it's only the Knights there, so they may be thinking Knights will move and we'll have safe territory. Did I just see Yannis ramping off the top of that house there? I think I did. Using the flat top. Yeah, why not?
I just want to quickly touch on what we saw right there. The way that, and again, it's Liquid. It's not because I want to praise them in any way over other teams. It's just, you see, like they show you what you want to know. The way they're setting that split. They have one guy rotating immediately. One is there to cover when Shift started shooting. Once the next guy started shooting, James jumps out, shoots up at him. Shift was constantly pressured in that entire rotation. Chris? Shots fired towards SKUIJKE.
Liquid
I don't know why, but ENCE getting shot at in vehicles, that's been a thing this week.
Liquid have gone into that warehouse that cost them dearly at FaZe Global Summit, if I recall.
True. That is true.
They didn't read the situation well. It is going to be Reciprocity getting that double crate. Now, remember, one of them was an AWM and just about everything in it. The other was M249 with also a stack of stuff in it. So, two big fat crates for Reciprocity there. I think it was DA that were just taking a couple of shots towards them, but they're happy that. N47, that's a pretty direct rotate. They're kind of going up the road just to the right-hand side of Minas Generalis.
Yeah, I think they right now prioritizing high ground position where they can get an angle into, like it gets somewhat of a view, because the Minas hillside on the northern side of Minas, you can see pretty much all the way up to water treatment, if you have the scopes for it, of course. And I think that's what they're doing right now. They know we're not going to get a compound. We're simply too late at this point. Let's see what's available. And then, as with TSM before, look at Michael, the way he's split off from the guys, right? If they can see one guy in a car leaving a compound, that's going to be them saying, that one's ours.
It's almost a little greedy. Raise your edge, you just got a glimpse of there, going completely north all the way around El Pozo. 7 pulling up on GamerLegion. So we'll see how this works out. Fex is already out there. Buster's nearby. Edelweiss has been caught out. He had the nade in hand. It's actually Team Liquid that took him down. Ibby did. Meanwhile, Kramik and Buster dealt with. And a little help from Team Liquid has caused 7 once again the demise early on. And Sadovnik, the IGL, just one man remaining.
GamerLegion were not giving them any intel. They should be in this area of the map. And normally, Graveyard at this point of the game is not very contested. They thought it was going to be a freebie, but once they got there, all hell broke loose. And Evie from the backside just made things even worse. It's just that one bullet fired towards you forces one guy to turn around, forces him to say, oh, we're going to shot from behind. Everyone turns around for a split second. That's when GamerLegion peeked out. Boom, 3 guys down. Set up now all on his own.
I mean,
it's just unfortunate. It's just really, really unfortunate.
At the end of the day, if you're going to push a compound, 3 in a car is not the way I'd recommend to do it.
No.
That was just
agree.
Clearly a desperation move, I think it's safe to say.
Also, again, one of those situations, nobody expects Reciprocity to still sit here. I mean, and even more so, nobody, GamerLegion, I mean, no one expects anyone to be sitting in Graveyard at this point of the game. Yeah. It's so early. Graveyard is not exactly a priority spot to sit in. Exactly. They thought that this was free for them. They're coming in from the south. They knew that a lot of teams were coming south, but as I said as well, they were expecting more people to rotate around. They thought it was open. GamerLegion did really, really impressive in hiding and not showing anything. So, well, when they peaked in the top, Evie was there to help them, and they got all the kills. Great play from GamerLegion, but I don't think 7 had any chance of expecting that to happen. And this one, that's interesting.
The donut is in effect.
TSM.
So, yeah, TSM now. So they need to group. They need to. Michael's going to get in the vehicle. He's going to probably join Rory. We may even see Iron Gustav.
That's still a dangerous two-way split.
I mean, N47 are clearly coming behind them. The Knights are going to reach this compound before NIP do. NIP, MBS. Get away. That's got to be 1 hit point, maybe 2 or 3 at best, because anything that catches him, any big lump is going to catch him. It looks like he has got a something running.
1 bullet.
Is he going to hit the...
He's riding up the wall.
How did he survive the vehicle? Wow. Oh, well, there's Sadovnik.
Yeah.
So he gets caught out. So 7 wiped out inside 10 minutes. That feels bad,
That is
man.
unfortunate.
Digital Athletics are on a big wraparound. They're deciding to go around El Azahar all the way up to the north and come down. The problem is they're too late doing it. There's already been about 6 teams that have done that, so that's crowded up there as well. Razor Edge creeping the way in. FaZe Clan, they've got that compound. Now, this is an interesting compound where FaZe Clan are right now, just north of the Knights. You can see them in the distance. That's a compound we've seen it finishing, and the road behind them a lot of times. Navi pulling up. James solo here at the moment. The rest of the Team Liquid are not with him, so James is just going to scurry away and try and find his exit.
He needs to get the hell out of this compound right now, and there's no one north of him to help, so he's all on his own. He has EB on the eastern side and the compound over there, and he has SIMSY and Dempsey over there too, and James has been spotted. They know he's there. He does have the cover, though, at least for now, running up towards Hacienda, but I would assume, depending on where the next circle goes, he's going to be alone, and he's going to get breached again.
Yeah, he's going to wrap around to James, to EB, sorry, it looks like.
That's a tough
So this is the
run
compound
goal.
I was talking about. So obviously we've got water treatment off to the left. We've seen it finish in this roadside a number of times, which is why FaZe Clan maybe prioritized that compound. Obviously it was open. Team Liquid here, we can see the spread they have. Now they've allowed M47 to pull up all inside this. Now, it's not the best compound because of the spread that Team Liquid have. SIMSY deciding to get in a vehicle. Okay, where are they going to join there?
I think he wants to either get up to James and Hacienda, because technically it is more center, but now that N47 is here, EB cannot do anything. I mean, the guys in the compound south, they don't have direct line of sight over towards either EB because it's downhill on the backside. So them being there just completely ruined EB's chance to do anything, honestly, because he knows that whatever he does, he won't have the backup from any teammates at all, which means that it's simply going to be too risky for him to go aggressive on this now.
So good move from M47 to get in there.
It is really smart.
Desperados, meanwhile, they were obviously down in Impala. They rotated all along the eastern coastline and made themselves in the church nice and easy there. Razor Edge, they're moving just a little bit further south, actually. They were further to the north on the hillside. They've left both Coldamenta and SKUIJKE up on the hillside. I think they're now in the vehicle, so they've moved 2 by 2. They're happy with the position. mxey has scouted it out nicely. Meanwhile, over on the eastern side, G2 on the move as well, looking for a better spot. They've split apart. Big 2-2 spread at the moment. They've got 2 north of water treatment. Now they may be thinking of this, just like I was talking about. They may be looking at the circle and thinking, we've seen it going in and around this water treatment road a number of times. Let's get in a position. And you can see, look at the spread they've got. You can see NELLOZ and CrowCrowd here. In the distance, Braexco is one side of the road. Yannis is completely near the north side. I'm talking water treatment area. That's because they've seen the circle finish. But it's also, don't forget, on the road where Team Liquid are, we've seen a lot of circles finish there. It looks like it's going to that position.
And this circle offers so many different things. Hacienda, open mountain and open fields with compounds in it. I mean, I want to say right now, with this many teams alive, we can see CrowCrowd finding Mert on the rotation. With this many teams alive right now, and I like that Michael and Rory are leaving because they got punished last time they played this area. This area, you have, I want to say 50% of it, with this many compounds in, is unplayable. It's open hills, it's open fields, you cannot risk it, you have to send it. Are we going to see at least 1 or 2, maybe even 3 compound breaches in this circle? Because the north is so condensed.
Looking at the circle, the way it's gone, and where we expect it to go now, which is the road by Team Liquid, that N47 play may actually have just put them at top 2, top 3 position.
Guaranteed?
It's possible. I mean, there could be changes. Obviously, the circle can shift north, south, east, west, wherever it wants to go. But we can only base our information off the statistics we've got and of the probability of the amount of games that we've covered over the last, 2 years now. Probably combined between us, God knows how many thousand games.
I don't even want to start counting.
A lot of hours, not always paid.
Braexco found by FaZe. They want to, again, high ground vision when you don't have the compound. And you know, if we want to scout from the open, either you go high ground or you go into a field. Obviously, you're going to pick the high ground. But as we saw in different games yesterday too, that high ground comes at a price because all of a sudden you're visible to everyone in CrowCrowd. Got a little piece of mxey there. Yeah,
G2 though, we're just seeing why that spread, it was a massive wide 2-2 spread. They were gambling on the big shift and it's kind of not really worked out for them. So they're taking another wide rotate all the way around the eastern side again. Miisa though, getting pressured. 6mo coming in. I don't think he realizes that they're here. Tiikzu will take him down easily as he comes through the door. And DA still struggling to find themselves a home.
Many teams play this very differently.
Sixy's making a play.
Yeah, he's going Hacienda. I think they've scouted it. They've seen, they've sat on the hilltop, seen there's no vehicles in Hacienda. We've seen no loot taken. Nobody has. Did anyone loot? I think
no,
TSM had one player there early, but he left early as well because he went over east, right? So I don't think there's anything really taken in Hacienda at this point in the game. Teams never got up there to begin with. I mean, I think they just see, you know what? I have seen no reason to believe that there should have been anything done in Hacienda, and they get it for free.
And they've
Good circle.
Yeah, they've wrapped around the Knights really well. FaZe are going to do similar now because they may have just seen them pushing away, so they're going to possibly come further down. But yeah, I felt Knights actually just made a mistake letting them pass by there.
I want to see G2 crash the Cinder compound. I want to see them scout it. I want to see them make the move, because this is one of those compounds where you go, obviously it's taken. It's one of those, I don't even care about scouting it, because it's going to be taken, right? But they are one of those teams that will say, you know what, I might just want to look over there just because there's so much room in the center right now and nobody's there.
Well, Reciprocity may do it themselves.
They could.
I can see Udir's on the move. Yannis just got himself the crate, by the way, so level 3 gear for him. Udir's making his way down. So where do we go? Do we go down to the south shift?
Someone.
Is it the south shift? Ooh. Yes, it is. Well, relatively, it's a heavy east shift. TSM are laughing about that. Team Liquid now. James can just rejoin his team. But we're talking about the compound. Look at almost at the center of your screen right now. This big open compound. Somebody has to move to this, and we're probably going to see two teams maybe even crashing it. We just see Na'Vi. Na'Vi are on the move. I think they go for the towers next to Team Liquid and N47.
The funniest thing we'll see now is the fact that some team will crash it expecting a fight. They will run around like, wait, there's no one here. And then immediately a team will come right behind them expecting to get to third party, but they will actually be the ones breaching to begin with.
Na'Vi will get to the... What do we call these? I mean, these are
silos.
Are they silos?
Silos, yeah.
Are they seeds? Because there's pipes, right?
I think it's maybe it's just... What do you call them?
Is it? It's not gas. It's not water. I don't know. Because the gas goes up and down, right? That's how it works. But anyway, we'll stick with silos. We'll stick with silos, although technically it's not, I guess. But anyway, it's a desert.
The cylinder things.
This is... Call them cylinder things. Yep. Saw a knock on Na'Vi there. Now, James is actually coming behind Na'Vi. So while Na'Vi, remember James was pushed by them, CrowCrowd. Okay, CrowCrowd are going for that compound we were just talking about. Looks like they're going to go past. They're going to go past.
They're going to send it to ENCE.
Oh,
they don't know it's open. They are not. They have not been shot at. Turn around, guys.
CrowCrowd have gone straight into ENCE. The Desperados guys are passing.
They want to go up the hill. They want to go up the hill on the backside.
They're all going for the hill, but G2's up the hill. This is a disaster. Nookie's gone down. CrowCrowd are kind of in a clustered position. They've kind of look at that. Tiikzu's car's up the tree. Mice has gone into the wall. They don't know what's going on. Desperado's sending it. Reciprocity and G2 have a clean shot on them. Everybody's just driven past this massive open compound.
Nobody even looks. Nobody cares to look, because obviously, it's taken, right?
FaZe Clan are pushing on NIP here. This is way outside the circle. They have to fight for this, though. They've lost Fuzz already.
Oh, yeah,
that was in a battle with, I think it was Na'Vi maybe caught them in a rotation. I'm sure Knights did, sorry. Meanwhile, here comes the Knights. They're trying to push down the hill, but they've just been obliterated by Page, so they lose 2. And still we see this giant compound wide open, which actually, if NIP come out on top of this, they may just stumble into.
Yeah, they could. I mean, they as I said before, they would breach it, expecting there to be someone, but they will be very, very glad and smiley in the fact that there isn't anyone there. And BS gets found, mxey gets flushed as well. He was trying to get the high ground control on the compound, but he goes down, so it's all up close and personal inside this compound now. And they're all in the blue. We're talking phase forward, starting to hurt.
Miraku trying to get around the side there. You chunk in the blue. He's going to get caught, gets shot down. ubah will take him with a nade in the end. Aitzy. Oh no, Vard's gone down to the blue as well. It's a disaster. It's what we were talking about. They're all getting caught out in this. Aitzy's going to bleed out as well. I think the blue may well take him. 7, 6, 3. The med kit should just go through.
1 HP.
Just in time. GamerLegion coming out of the blue. They're also getting picked apart. It's Reciprocity, but they've lost 2 in the process. And now you're going to see FaZe Clan with Aitzy, the last man standing for him. Nowhere to go for them. Still, nobody goes in the compound. Everybody's ignored it.
DA lost a player early in that area, but because TSM left to go back, they think, well, I mean, it's got to be taken still, right? Nope, BeautflDeath is now alone in the center. GamerLegion, they're going to go down and out. Gaxi is scouting forward, but he's also aware of the fact that Aitzy has to come at some point because he has not seen any finishes on the FaZe team. So he's anticipating them to move forward, and there's nothing that makes him want to peek down towards that compound.
It's pulled to the crossroads, which now ends.
It's open.
Loving. TSM, obviously, they start in this area, so they're fine with this. CrowCrowd, BeautflDeath. I like that. CrzyZZ just pulled up in a car, and BeautflDeath didn't take him down. That's a good nade, though. Good predicting position. CrzyZZ runs back into it. He dodged it and ran straight back into it. NELLOZ has now got to save the day. Is it going to be enough? BeautflDeath's going to run away. Meanwhile, G2, NELLOZ, you can see, ENCE just took a shot at him, so he wasn't able to save the day. Not able to do anything. CrzyZZ is going to bleed out.
Because miikaz was in for so long and Reciprocity held that hillside, you could never get onto where we're seeing a lot of teams go now, the Eastern Hill. We see Na'Vi now, full breach over towards N47. 2 Poker out of the vehicle, but ABeautflDeath and BestLog immediately down. And once again, Team Liquid, they did it to 7 early, and they are sitting here trying to third party, getting themselves some kills on the side.
mxey actually shot ubah in the back there, so he'd gone up on the hill, the flank position. But yeah, like you say, that was razor-edge, and the Knights, Team Liquid, all shooting Na'Vi in the back as they tried to make that breaching play. They had to try and push that compound, because N47's compound, where Page is right now, in the bottom left of your screen, that's the circle. That is the circle, which is why N47 are slowly moving away. Senya now the last man standing, as we see them falling. TSM catching Evil out there. mxey still coming up the hillside. Team Liquid, look at this. They're sending it in a vehicle behind mxey. mxey might catch them all off guard.
Ooh.
No, SIMSY takes him down, stuns around, sees shift, but that damage, that would have cost them. So great coverage from SIMSY to get in there and block off the shots.
That could very easily have been a double kill for mxey had SIMSY not been there to save the day's shift. Now, up in the back, are you running into
SIMSY? Just
hello? Hello, SIMSY? Ow.
He was feeling
4
cold.
HP? No, nade.
Feeling cold. I need heats.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Shift on the top, though, he has Scoom. Scoom needs to deal a lot of damage now.
Desperados.
2 guys alive, they need to do it. And Desperados, they're sending it over. They tried to third party last game, weren't there on time this time around, though. I'm sure Scoom has got to get a bullet in the back of his head.
Scoom, yeah, he's about to get backstabbed. Desperados coming in right behind him, while Team Liquid will deal the damage in the front side. As soon as Team Liquid come up the brow of this hill, they will find there is another team. Look at the grenades just rolling past Scoom right now. That's all coming from the boys in white on the hillside, trying to get some third party action. Meanwhile, Reels, he's got nowhere to go. Stuck by an ABeautfl, but Drayden, his buddy, his partner in crime, is off the side. That's a nade that's going to catch Reels off guard. Razor-Edge will get another.
That is unfortunate. Drayden probably saying, Reels, why not here? The compound's open. Scoom all by himself trying to hold this one off. James is up close, spots out Scoom, and that's going to be the end of Reciprocity. T-Bone running over Vasco as well. That is really unfortunate timing.
Do they expect Desperados to be up here, though? Because they feel they've probably just been fighting Reciprocity.
Nades were thrown that was not Reciprocity nades, so they know there's a team in the vicinity. And also, there's only so many areas you can play because the circle just went north. Nobody's going to be open in the field. Liquid just got to push it further forward.
This is the game that could see ENCE picking up their first victory here in the PEL Phase 3. It's been a long time since we saw them really perform. They stepped it up a little bit towards the end of Phase 2. And though, the second I say that, miikaz gets knocked in the compound, and Desperados may well finish it. SKUIJKE goes down as well. Oh, no.
Why are you cursing them, Demon? Why are you cursing them?
Team Liquid falling as well. You can see N47 and TSM collecting the kills and that, so the hillside really is not a good place for them at the moment. But TSM, they're kind of laughing because N47 and Razor-Edge over in the other 2 compounds, they both got to make a move, and TSM are ready and waiting to try and shoot them all down. Here goes one, N47 all in a car. SIMSY gets run down. lynxzee actually gets the shot in the back of him as well and finishes him off, but N47 will lose players because of it, and they go down in 8th place.
Unfortunate, but there was not a whole lot more they can do from where they were, and this is actually the first time I see Liquid make a decision that was a little questionable. They decided to put their focus on the guys, like they want a third party in the field rather than try and push further forward down towards Desperado. They were fighting ENCE. Could have been a different story now. James all by himself. Desperado have a good position on the hillside. They might have to leave later, but this could be very interesting.
Name a more iconic duo these days than Digital Athletics snaking in the final circles. A beautiful death. It's still in it. At Phase 2, we saw so many backstabs causing problems from DA, and still that little landmine is waiting to happen. Razor-Edge on the move here. TSM looking to try and shoot them down. ENCE trying to stop Desperados crossing the hillside. mxey will get spotted. Iro and Michael doing the damage. TSM can collect quite a few kills here, and it's a shame for ENCE, right? Because they've had this center point, but they're not really collecting too many of the kills because it's all going TSM's way.
I was just going to say, Razor-Edge, though, they're going to be the backstabber for TSM. Iro gone down there. We saw it. TSM cannot push up the hill before they know for a fact there's no one left in the field. They're going to be so exposed, so if they try to take a fight uphill, they need to have a guarantee that no one's left out there in the open.
James is spotted and taken down. Desperados get themselves the kill. 7th place for Team Liquid. They're going to be kicking themselves thinking, how the hell are we 7th? with 13 alive. How has this happened?
The sneaky snakes count for a lot. You got Drayden North, you got beautifulDeath in the center, and mxey trying to crawl forward as best as he can. He's going to get inside the circle, I think, unless if we see some magic nades from Rory. We see them lined up now. They're going to go over, they're going to go forward. Is it going to bounce all the way behind? It is, but no damage done.
The blue will start to hit, though, and tick, and now he's got nowhere to stand.
Yeah.
Drayden's catching him from the angle on the hillside, so Drayden takes him down. But now it's bought time for TomiL to get involved, and he can just chuck those nades down the hill. That's the only one he's got, sadly. It hasn't quite found its target. Did some damage to Michael. But with this circle still keeping the compound for ENCE in play, they've got 3 people back alive in there. Rory goes down, and Desperados, they only had about 2 or 3 kills in their last game, and they're going to be kicking themselves for losing out in that 4v2. Can they make up for it here?
TSM needed that hilltop control 30 seconds, maybe even a minute earlier. Desperados played it perfectly. Heard they were still throwing nades, heard they were shooting from down below, knew the compound was slowly getting more and more excluded with the blue pushing in. They're just waiting for the last player. Michael behind the building, he's going to get spotted. That's going to be a clear wipe for them, I would assume. Down to half HP now. Michael might just be better off running into blue at this point.
Yeah, Calvin's just going to run across. Oh, I think Drayden. Is that Drayden that sees beautiful
Don't
death?
overstep here. Don't overstep here, guys.
You see him, no problem. Desperados take him down. 6 kills and counting. Now they got to look towards Drayden. That's an easy spot. Did Calvin just see him?
I mean, they heard the shots fired towards mxey early, so they know there's a player up there somewhere. And they saw it was a Knights player, and they know Knights were playing the west side, so they should assume that there's up there. I don't think they know that there's only one, though. But it's going to be excluded with the next circle, and that's going to be Drayden down. TomiL finds some 7 kills. beautifulDeath in the mix in the middle. Could be the difference maker. We don't know, because right now it's a 4v4. Make that a 4v3, actually. ENCE losing a player just before. But beautifulDeath could be the trap card that ENCE needs to win this game. I think it's all going to come down to this final circle shift.
Yeah, if it goes north, ENCE are in golden position. If it goes south, Desperados on the hillside are looking good. Because you can see if it goes anywhere away from Desperados are now, it forces them on the down slope, and there's not really a lot of positions. If they can get a knock, though, on ENCE right now, but ENCE are kind of over-peaking a little bit.
So what we say is we wanted to go center, right? That's to be fair for all.
beautifulDeath
wins it.
Ultra's trying to find his way down, and actually, look at that.
They will have to go there. They have to go there. I think he saw him. Ultra, he would not be sure. You can see the way he's jiggle peeking right now, trying to get info on the other side. He would not. I think he's either trying to bait shots from beautifulDeath, or, I mean, he would not be stepping around this way.
For, is it Calvin or TomiL that's coming over?
Yeah, he wants to get one more. This is mistakes made from last game that they're making up for the very next game. We do not lose players in situations like these. Very, very well done in a situation where everything's on the line. Great job,
That's an interesting
SIMSY.
circle. So this next phase has actually benefited both teams. ENCE can squeeze into it. Desperados can squeeze into it.
But they're all going to be in the same dip.
But Phase 9 is just going to be a straight-up shootout, and they're both going to have their backs to the circle, so it's going to force them all to move at the same time. It's almost like a, what was the old Mexican standoff, and everyone walks into one of each other.
With the next circle, all of Desperados is going to be forced into the dip they just claimed from Ultra, from beautifulDeath. Good shots,
no, he's got him clean.
He might be able
they
to
have
get
to try and
safe.
challenge it. They have to challenge it.
He's going to get back up. There's not going to be any push on this, obviously. They're in the compound right now. And they're only 3. So right now it's a 3v3. They know for a fact that there's only 4. Like, it's a 3v4. There cannot be any solos up here at this point. But I think if ENCE just plays it smart and waits, Desperados will have to leave before ENCE. So they will have the compound cover, but they will need to land those key shots when it comes down to the final 10 seconds of the game.
Will it be the Norwegians or will it be the Finns? Who is going to take themselves victory here? We're just waiting for the circle to shrink in. Desperado's going to try and find the cover, the best cover they can, and the furthest down they can. You can see the problem is there's not really a lot of trees, there's no cactus, there's not a lot of anything. So SIMSY may well just try and make this play with the car. He's going across. He's actually going to wrap around. Is he going to try and wrap around and get the flank? He's off. Yes, this could work out. SIMSY's going for it, but the problem is everybody from ENCE is now drawn towards it. Now, are they going to try a couple more moves? Oh, knocked out the car.
He got the car down, though. They have something to run through. The thing is, Desperados have been playing in the open for the last 5 circles. They have no smokes left. They have nothing. Oh, as I say, that Calvin does have 8 of them, but his teammates have 0, so maybe they should have been spread out a little earlier. And I think that's why SIMSY went down. They have nothing to play for on the hillside. TRYFFELI just crossed to the rock on the other side. This one has to have ENCE on it. Both these teams have had games where they were 4v2 and lost. Both of them won it equally much. It was ENCE against Aitzy and ubah last week, and was Desperado's last game. Great push from TRYFFELI. That could be the difference maker, and I honestly think this one. Unless if Desperado hits some hero shots now, 3v3, everything is possible. but this one should go to ENCE.
Yeah, it was the dip play. There's a tiny dip there, and if nice headshot. If SIMSY had gone in it safe and in the dip, then ENCE were in desperate trouble. It was like that would have been it. But now we'll see. You can see TRYFFELI's got the smokes down. He's just playing the edge of the smokes right now. Rustanmar taking a big hit as he tries to creep through. TRYFFELI trying to do what he can to just use that smoke and jiggle out the back of it and try and cover them off. But now the blue is pushing, and it's going to push Desperados more than ever. They have to try and land one of these big shots. There goes the trees.
They need it.
Are they going to get the box out? I can see they're trying to find it. They see one in the open, trying to get miikaz down. miikaz takes a lot of damage, but TRYFFELI will strike. He gets Calvin Klein down. Now they're in the open. TomiL coming down. Rustanmar takes a blue hit, takes 1-2. TRYFFELI gets the other though, and it's TRYFFELI in the end with the big plays that come out on top. ENCE will get themselves an 8-kill victory.
TRYFFELI was the one to hit these shots. They knew that the guys in the back were going to be shifted out early. He needed to be able to contain while they were in the open. Great effort, great concentration. 3 for 0 for him in the end there, and great win for ENCE.
Big puff of the cheeks as well. They knew it was a close play, but for Desperados, it's a second place.
It's amazing. The fact that they get late game in 2 very different endings, that is very impressive. Last game, they had the circles for a while. This time around, they fought for everything once they hit that mountain. And the way they were able to make space all the time, very impressive.
Yeah, they're going to be... I mean,
it's frustrating.
They're still frustrated, but they had 4 players alive on Phase 9.
Yeah.
Again. Which is very impressive in itself to keep themselves alive. This time they had a lot more kills, obviously a lot more interaction with everyone else, but that's because they tried to get involved on that hillside position.
Yeah.
Interesting circle as well, because it's been a while since we saw one going that direction. As we say, we were expecting either to go water treatment or down towards that warehouse, because we've seen it a number of times in and around them sort of areas. So the fact that it pulled sort of to the crossroads is very nice. Parler's making his way down to get himself a little couple of words with ENCE. They're down the front, not too far to go. Let's see what they got to say.
Let's see what ENCE have to say. Congratulations on that chicken dinner. Firstly, who's most comfortable talking on the mic? Any preferences? All right, perfect. So tell me about this game, firstly. It looked like at the end you were taking things very slow and methodical. What was the strategy?
We saw, like, before we